They see my messages though. Oh, I'm live. Hey, it's working. Wonderful. Thanks, Trace, for letting me know you can see my messages. You guys, I want to talk about something that's that really kind of blew me away, and I saw it on someone else's video today on YouTube, and I wanted to talk about it because it really surprised me. But I've known about it, and I've seen things, and I've experienced it myself. But I asked my wife some more questions today. I asked Caroline, and I think it's something that more people should know about. Not in the Philippines, but maybe in the West. It's something I think it's just it might be difficult for Westerners to understand, but it has to do with when people die, when someone dies, especially in public cemeteries. It's about the 5-year burial lease. And I'm going to read something and tell you how it works. And then I just want to have everything so it makes sense. And then we're going to open it up, okay? So here's how it works. When someone passes away, especially in the city or even in a provincial area where space is limited, they're usually buried in a tomb or in a cement grave. It's only leased for 5 years. It's not permanent. The grave is kind of like renting a small apartment, but for the body. After 5 years, the family has a decision to make. They can either pay to renew the lease and keep the body where it is, or if they can't afford to or decide not to, they can come back to collect the bones. And that's what I've seen. I've seen that. And I'm going to talk more about that. And I'm also going to compare this to the West. I want to go into a deeper comparison. So okay, so by that point, the body is fully decomposed. The bones are then transferred to a small box, or I've seen them put them in sacks. But if it's in a box, it depends on the area. They'll call it ossuary box. Some families put that box in a smaller tomb. Some take it home and keep it on a family altar, and others rebury it somewhere else. But this is the hard part. If no one comes back, this is the hard part for Westerners, I think, to understand. If no one comes back to claim the remains, the cemetery workers will move the bones to a communal grave, sometimes called a mass grave. And it might sound shocking if you're not from here, but for many Filipino families, this is just how things are. There's not always enough money or land to keep everyone buried forever in one spot. And even though it's painful, this system is widely accepted here in the Philippines. It's not viewed as disrespectful. In fact, there's this deep cultural understanding that what really matters is how the person is remembered, not how long their body stays in one place. It also says a lot about how grief is handled here. Families gather together every year during Undas, or they call it All Saints and All Souls Days. And I made a video about that. And when I did it with my family, when we visited the cemetery, which we do quite often, but we made a video for that. And that's to visit graves, repaint tombs, bring food. People are cleaning up the graves and the area there and the grave site. And then they light candles and pray together. Even if the bones were moved, they still honored their loved ones in memory and in prayer. I think what moved me the most is how people here hold space for grief and practicality. There's this beautiful resilience, a quiet strength. It's not about holding on to permanence, because we're all impermanent, really, but about keeping the memory alive, even if the physical space changes. So during this live stream, I just want to open the floor. If you've gone through this, and I'm sure you have, because everybody experiences death at some point in their life, and some people experience it more than others. But if you've gone through this with a loved one, or if you have questions or experiences to share, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it here, because the way we honor those who came before us says a lot about who we are today. And I want to thank you for being here. And I also left a pinned comment, if you guys can read that. So please leave a comment. Let's talk about this. Let's open this up now. Can you guys hear me okay? I'm here in my room here with my family. I got a couple of my kids here, and you can see Caroline in the background. You can wave, Caroline. They can see you. Just no, you don't have to. Just go back there. They can see your head. Just wave. So good evening, everyone.
Come on, David, let's go downstairs. Okay. You have to eat. Ikaw, Rain.
Can you guys hear my voice okay? You're going to see the door opening and closing behind me.
David, Rain, come on.
I want to try to share something, and I wanted to save it till later, but I'm waiting for people to. The weather here is windy and rainy, but they said tomorrow is when we're going to get hit a little harder. How about where you are, Cherise? How's the weather there? All right, thanks, James. I appreciate that. Since no one, you guys read the pinned comment and the words I just spoke. If you guys want to share something about your personal experiences with Undas, with like All Souls Day, right? Or about what you've gone through with your family with the 5-year lease that we're talking about. It would be really good to hear that. But until then, I guess I will try to share something here. Let me see if I can. I want to show you the burial comparison for the Philippines versus the West. And let me see if I can open this up here. Go berserk until I share what I want to share. Okay, this should come up in a second for you guys. Let me know when you guys can see this on the screen. Or if it's just a black screen and you don't see anything. Just let me know. Okay, so I guess the share is not working. So we'll stop sharing. But let me tell you about it. I'll tell you. For burial ownership in the Philippines, it's often leased public cemeteries. And in the West, US and Europe, it's usually permanent ownership. So burial sites, like instead of being leased in the West, they're usually permanent ownerships. Duration of burial, this is very interesting to me. So it's usually 5 years unless renewed. And in the West and in Europe, US and Europe, so the Western countries, it's indefinite. So it's just like they bought the plot, even though they don't own it, they can keep their loved one there, their loved one's body there for indefinite amount of time. Then the cemetery type, there's municipal niches and mausoleums here in the Philippines, and then in the West, it's churchyards and memorial parks. Then cremation I found this surprising, but I was looking at the numbers. It's increasingly common for the Philippines. Cremation is becoming more increasingly common. And then in the Western countries, it's very common. Family tombs, they're common in Catholic areas in the Philippines. And in the Western countries, some family plots exist. But I think family plots here in the Philippines it's kind of rare. They're here, but I think it's kind of rare. Maybe richer people can do that. Cultural rituals, there's the one that I've been to. that I've done a number of times is Undas, All Saints Day, and in the West it's Memorial Day or private visits. Then view of remains. In the Philippines, spiritual, less attachment after 5 years. And I see that here in the Philippines. It's very, people are very, they're very attached and they're very tearful and very emotional, usually during the first 5 years. And by the fifth year, I noticed like the fourth, fifth year, for most people, even though they still feel attachment, sometimes they'll be moved to tears when they're thinking about the loved one. There's less attachment, meaning to the emotional reactions. Um, but they still feel a deep sense of loss. I noticed that. Um, and also, like at our family, a lot of people do is they have a place in their house where they have a sacred area where they will have family pictures of the past family members that have passed on there. And sometimes they'll light candles and they might put a grotto there, or like if they're Catholic, like they'll have baby Jesus up there or something. That's how our house looks. And I've seen other people's houses and set up in a similar fashion, but not everybody does that. And in the West, graves are seen as a sacred West resting place. Like the body will be there pretty much unless there's a storm that something happens, or they'll be there as much as forever they can be. Then like when they will dig up, exhume the bodies. In the Philippines, it's normal after the lease expires, unless the people renew it. And what I've seen in the province is there's people here that can renew, and then there's a lot of people that cannot. They don't have the money, and the money is. I was looking at the cost of it. It used to be up like around 8 to 10,000. Now I think it's more than that. I think it's something like, depending on where you live, but like 10 to 18,000, something like that. But it's normal to do that if the people want to move them, or they just can't afford it. And in the West, it's rare, often legally restricted. Yeah, if you in the Western countries, if you dig up someone's grave and they don't need to investigate for a crime or something like that, the family didn't request it either, you're going to go to jail for that. But in the Philippines, I've seen them in the province, when they're moving the bones, there'll be workers there, and then they'll clean the bones. They'll clean them right there. I see them cleaning, and then they'll put them in a sack. And then in some places in the province where we are, like here, like after, if someone's done your family, they're gonna get up, they're gonna take the blood. This things I guess, but this is something will take out because someone started in the family, and then they'll bone the first person died like around 10 years, and then they'll put them in a sack and then close the sack, or maybe some people it's a box, but in the province it's like a sack, and then they put it within the buried next to the person, not in their, like if it's a box they're going to be buried in, it's not, it's next to them, which is very interesting and very loving. It's a very loving gesture, I think, in my opinion. So the other thing in the West is a lot of times there's a lot of people that are, a lot more people are doing cremations. It's very common. And so they'll give the urn, and they'll give it to the family member. Like when my mom and dad each passed, they gave it to our family, and then the brothers and sisters distributed it sections of that so they could either put it in their house, or if they were going to spread it over the ocean, maybe my parents wanted that. And for me, I was here in the Philippines when that happened, so I didn't I didn't get anything like that. So there's like it's accepted. It's a long time ago, but there's an emptiness about that when you're I think that if you're in the Philippines and you're blessed to be in the Philippines, I think, in my opinion, as far as quality of life. And this is one of those things that really interests me because the Filipinos won't see this as like it's normal in the culture, and they're it's accepting, and it's more like space. Like there's a lot of people, especially in the municipalities or in the big cities, there is lots of people and there's not a lot of space. So it's like naturally giving up your space for someone else. And then if sometimes what's happened, and I've heard this happen to people, is the family didn't realize this just happens sometimes. The family didn't realize that they had like it was 5 years already, and then they weren't notified. No one notified them, and then they didn't show up, and so then they're searching for the bones to find where they were placed in the they will place it in, like if they can't pay, it's like a general big area, like a mass cemetery area where they'll put the bones. And then sometimes there'll be identifiers, but sometimes I don't know, I just heard from people they couldn't find the bones, and they were very distraught. So I know that happens just living here and seeing those things. So you guys, leave a comment for me. Let me know what you think about this. Let me get to the comments here. My wife said, "Hey, James." Yeah, good to see you, James. My wife said they don't touch the remains in Bagawines, but in San Carlos they do. Where's that, James? Where's Bagawines? That's where I think that's where your wife is from, right? What's Bagawines? I haven't heard of that. By the way, James, you're number 2. Oh, Vallehermoso. Okay, Vallehermoso. So really they don't touch. That's interesting. Do you know the reason why they don't touch there? Is it Catholic still? Vallehermoso is very close. So, and James, congratulations, you're number 2 in top fans for taking part. And Therese Home is number 1. Oh, it's Catholic. Okay. How are you doing, James? It's good to see you here. Hi, Therese. You're here as always. I appreciate your help at the beginning. Can your wife tell you why they don't touch the remains there? Does she know what the reasoning is there? Because I just haven't heard of that. Oh, it's good. You're doing fine. I'm glad you're doing fine, James. You guys, I'm going to be here for a few hours. I just opened this up tonight, and we're going to make this. I know I made a lot of changes, and I was doing a lot of different things, but I kind of got settled down, and just looking at my schedule and looking at what I'm doing now for the channel so we can grow is I'm decided to do lives going forward on Wednesdays, every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. And Therese and a few of us voted on this a few weeks ago. 7 p.m. is a great time, I think. And then we're going to do this every Wednesday, and it's going to be 7 p.m. for sure. Okay, so before I was going to do 3 times a week, but now what I'm going to do is shorts are going to be 7 days a week. gonna do shorts. I'm gonna cut up and do shorts, and I'm gonna do quality shorts and really work on those because that's what YouTube's pushing out right now. And then I'm gonna do long format once a week for now. It's gonna stay on once a week, and then after a week, I'm gonna do 2 shorts a day for a few weeks, and then we're gonna see what happens there. James said his wife said she said because it's a Catholic cemetery, it is a public cemetery. Okay. So they decided there that they don't touch. So do the people have to continually pay? Do they have to lease out those, or do they just pay once, or they don't pay at all? It's just a cemetery where a lot of people go and they just put the remains there. Sorry to ask so many questions. I really want to understand because I'm going to make a video about this for the next video on not this coming Saturday, but the Saturday after. This coming Saturday, by the way, is the shorts that I made. The last 2 shorts are from the video. I made a long video. It's like 25 minutes. And I made 2 shorts already. I'm going to make shorts for the rest of the week from that video. So I'm giving you guys lots of sneak peeks. And then I'll release the whole video on Saturday. Okay. Therese said, my mother rests in a public cemetery for more than 2 decades. Wow. So no, they don't pay anything. It's free. Okay. So yeah, that's like you said, it's public. I think in that place, that's where, like, if someone at some of these other places, they can't pay the lease, or if for some reason they want to move the bones, maybe after 5 years, they will put them in a place like that. Since that's the public place. You might hear my kids screaming in the background. Baby Rain, please don't scream. You're scaring me. So, so Jean Paul said, wait, Therese said, my mother rests in a public cemetery for more than 2 decades. There goes Baby Rain. So your mother stayed there, resting. Okay, she's in a public. Hi, Baby Rain. Say hi.
Hi.
That's why I want to do a 2-hour with my family running around here, because they'll probably show up every now and then. And then it's kind of enjoyable. For me, at least. I hope it's enjoyable for you. And then, do you guys have coffee before I get back to these comments? I'm drinking water now. I've been losing weight, you guys. I've been working on, I want to get down to like around 160, 165 pounds. So I'm not working out a lot or anything. I'm not like that, but I want to be around for my kids and be healthy. So just off subject, I'm not like a arty person. I just eat anything that people serve me. But what I've done in the past, I don't know, a few years, but I just started doing it like this way, 100% in the past like 10 days is I stopped consuming sugar and sodas and everything bad, actually. And then even in my coffee, I drink it black, which is interesting because I used to add like fake sugar, but I just black. And then I'm eating only 2 small meals a day. It feels good for me because when you stop taking the sugar in after like 5 days, you don't really crave things anymore. And then I'm drinking water and then coffee. I'm not strict on it. I'm just doing like that. And then I'm eating during the eating hours. I go like 20 to 22 hours. And then I eat like a regular meal, but I make sure in my day I don't have more than like 60 carbs. And then that's it. I just eat my wife, even it's like tortillas and then it has chicken in it and things. I eat it, man. And then I drink coconut water. It has some little like very little sugar in it. Like I really eliminated my sugar, you guys. And I feel a lot better. So, okay, let's get back. So I'm drinking water. That was my After 6, if I drink water, I'll pee at night. So, okay. So anyway, I'm really not art to you guys. I just go with the flow, do things. I just go for walks, meditate a lot, and pray. Always meditating, and always meditating. Okay, so let's get back to the chat here. So James is here. James is number 2. We got top fans, you guys, if you don't know, as I'm getting back. Therese is number 1. She has a wonderful picture there, too. I can see your face, Therese. It's good to put a face to you. You're always here. And then James, I know James. Mom, James K is here. James. James.
Okay.
Yeah, so I don't need a picture there. Then Jean Paul is number 3. So James number 2. And this can change, you guys, when people are interacting here, or people give a super chat, something like that, they move up like that. So just letting you know, nothing's expected here. So let's get back to the comments. Therese said, my mother rests in a public cemetery for more than 2 decades. So Mom, they're in public cemetery for like more than 2 decades. And then James said his wife in Valor Hermosa over here, they don't touch when they put them in there. They don't touch. So I think those are the ones where they take them out of other cemeteries because they didn't pay. Maybe they put them there because she says they don't touch them there.
It's just like in some it's like that.
So is that what?
Yeah, some cemeteries.
Oh, okay. So it doesn't mean that they're taking those bones and moving them there.
No, not like.
Okay.
Just in San Carlos, it's like they will move the.
Just in San Carlos. It depends on the barangay's decision with that, right?
Yeah. Okay. So Daghan Tawa on San Carlos.
Daghan Tawa on San Carlos, yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. So James said they don't pay anything, it's free. Jean Paul said, my Filipina has promised to cremate me. She wants to put me on the bookshelf mantle. Wow, Jean, thank you for sharing that. That's nice. She wants to keep you close, it sounds like. So I guess Jean wants to be cremated, doesn't want to be buried, doesn't want his body to be buried, even though he won't be there, he'll be somewhere else. So that's his personal choice. And a lot of people are moving towards that. I'm going to go to Jean's channel. I always check out people's channel, see if I can see a face. There's just a key here, it looks like. Red key, USB. Okay. So I'm not going to get a face with Jean. Okay, Therese. I have property in a memorial park in Quezon City. My niece and my aunt laid there. Oh, wow. So you have a property there in a memorial park. Nice, Therese. So I think that's like, so is Quezon City right now getting a lot of flooding in that area? So do you go up there? I mean, you might, I don't know, but do you go there on All Souls Day? Is that one of the places you go to visit? Just want to share personally, if I died, I prefer to cremate me. I prefer to cremate me. Let my ashes flow in the Pacific Ocean. Yeah, you're like my father and my mother. That's what they wanted. They want to just be let their ashes. Then they didn't want their kids to like keep them there and like worry about them. That's what they said. That's what was in their mind, you know. But of course, no one's going to worry. We just be happy to have those to remember, but you don't need that to remember. You don't need that at all to remember. My wife said regards to your wife. Oh. What's that?
Vanessa.
Yeah, Vanessa.
Yeah. I think Vanessa.
I think his wife is Vanessa.
Yeah, it's Vanessa.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, my wife said it's right. Okay, so she gives her regards.
Hello.
Caroline said hello. Mom, just put your face on screen so she can see you. I think she's there with James. Yeah. She spells Vanessa though. Look how she spells it. It's okay. I'm introvert too, but you come out of your shell. There's just here with these wonderful people.
Yeah. But sometimes when
So look how Vanessa spells her name.
Vani.
Hey
Yeah,
James,
Vanessa.
James, in our country there would be an E there, right? It'd be like Vanessa is common, right?
Vanessa. Hello. Hello.
I think
Max.
James is like, I think James is New York area. I think James came from there, but he's in San Carlos. I'm spilling the beans on you, James. You're in San Carlos City.
Ayaw ko sa likod, ha?
Oh, dito? Or diri? Ari?
Oh, ay, malesen ra ko ninyo.
Oh, okay, Gani.
Oh.
Yes, we spell it with an E. James, what are you doing? Like you have a nice body, a nice shape as you get older like me, but you have a nice how do you do that? What do you do? Are you doing anything? Do you walk? Do you run? You're a very slender man.
No, baby.
What baby?
No,
No,
my
baby,
dad
not
is
right now.
going.
Wait a little while, okay, baby? You can say hi though. You can say hi to people.
Oh,
You can tell David to come in and say hi.
okay.
David can say hi. Just wave. There you go. Just wave. There's David. It's okay, Mom. She's okay.
Baby.
She has shorts on, Mom.
Yeah, it's okay.
Hi. Hi. I can't see my eyes because it's black.
You can talk like right here. See the mic's speaking. No,
Happened to your
just here.
eyes?
Okay.
James, James, I eat only 3 meals a day. Yeah. That's good, James. No, baby. Just leave it there and then we can talk together, okay?
Come on, come here now.
James eats 3 meals a day, Mom.
Oh.
I can't even.
Cherie said, I believe. Wait,
tree
baby, look,
spells
let's read this.
waterbed.
What?
I love eating tree spells waterbed.
You like eating what?
Tree bells waterbed.
What's up, Mom?
I love eating tree bells.
3 meals?
3 meals?
Yeah, that's a waterbed.
You eat snacks all the time, so I think that's why you're not hungry.
Yeah, you're always eating junk.
Okay, Therese, I believe when I died, I am free. So why putting my ashes or my body in a cement or urine? I can't breathe. Yeah, I understand you. Yeah, I agree with you. When this is the universal laws are when we die, we're set free from our bodies. Some people have had experience, with things. I've had experiences. I told you in other streams, other videos. But when we die, our energy never dies. So of course, just like throwing away an old shoe, we're throwing away our bodies. Some people take really good care of their bodies while they're alive, and then there's people like me that just okay, a little bit, but I just feel like I'm paying rent. So the body's sacred to do service, to do our purpose. But when we die, we're not in our body anymore. We're gone. And for me, working hospice for so many years with adults and children, and then working peds ICU, bone marrow transplant at UCSF in San Francisco on the 6th floor. And for me, it's just a matter of fact, everything I've seen that yes, we're not in there. And then when we go and view people, our loved ones that have died, when we look at them, what is your feeling you feel? When you can think about it later, when the grief is not so strong later after many years, when you will think about it, even when you see them right away, you look at them and say, they're not there. That's not them. You can tell that's not them. They look different. And I want to tell you, when I worked at Peds ICU bone marrow transplant at UCSF when I was in my late 20s or early 20s, actually, after I graduated from college, I was working there, and I got for 3 months after I've been working there. I was working there since 90. And then I got a job there as a nurse in 1993 on the same floor. I was like a nursing assistant, but I kind of knew everything that was going on there. And then I got trained in nursing. I worked in nursing. And then for 3 months, I was trained, just specialized. I got a special certificate at UCSF for peds ICU bone marrow transplant. I was just very specialized. And then when I had my first patient that I was the primary nurse for, I took care of a boy named Cody. And this was in 1993, 94, something like that. And I was taking care of him and for like 6 months, but a lot of kids don't last that long. And then that place was number one at that time in the whole world for bone marrow transplant, and survivors would come there. People that wanted to really survive, they would come there. The people that could, and if there was space for them, to get the bone marrow transplant. So we'd take care of them on that floor, and a lot of them had leukemia, different types of cancers. Just a lot of things you would see. And Cody got the bone marrow transplant. And then after like a few months, he went downhill. He's going downhill. And the doctor told me one day, George, you are his primary nurse. It is your job to make sure he survives. And he told me that. And when he said that, it just stuck in my head like it was quite a responsibility. And so one night I lived in Petaluma. I drove about 45 minutes, about an hour away from my job every day. And I lived in a nice apartment there. And it was around 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning. I was sleeping, deeply sleeping. And then I heard a strong voice come in my ear. It was Cody. And he said, let go of me. Stop holding me down. And he screamed so loud, and he screamed, and it went through my ears, like into me, my whole being. It went into my whole being. And so I immediately called the hospital, and I was shooken up and I was crying. And then I just said, hey, this is George. I called my unit, and they said, George, Cody just died. He just died. And I just hung up the phone, and then I had been there for like a number of years, right? But this was my first primary child, and I couldn't ever return back to that hospital. I couldn't go back to work. And I ended up I moved to Florida. I just needed a change. And that's when I really started deeply meditating. And I was in a search my question was, at that time was, why am I giving people narcotics and different medications to make them supposedly feel comfortable, or so they can die? Because the family would be giving them like Roxanol under their tongue and different types of medications, transdermal patches, IVs. But at home, a lot of times they wouldn't have IVs when they came home with us, with hospice. And they would take Roxanol and all these. And I would always question that. I don't want anyone to suffer, but when they're dying, my question was, it was a very deep spiritual question. Am I affecting them at the moment of death? And when they go into like a bardo of becoming, like for 40 days or 49 days before they will go to wherever they're going to go. And for me, I believe they will go into another source, like another life, another, hopefully human. But a lot of Christians and Catholics do not believe that at all. They don't believe. They believe there's a different way. But for me, I believe it, and I just honest because I experience things, and I don't need to answer to someone else. I need to answer to God, and so this is my very deep, strong belief. So that was my deep question that drove me into Zen Buddhism, and then I was doing transcendental before that. And then years of retreats where I just meditate for like 1 day and then 3 days. They call them sessions. 1 day session, 3 days session, and then 7 days. And then, I mean, you're seeing your everything. You're seeing your ugliness. You're seeing the good things, but you're seeing a lot of ugly. For me, I saw a lot of ugly within me. And when I would meditate deeply, I would think when I'd see other people, when I was really like in these deep spaces of like when you're meditating for so long, I would look at other people and think that we're in hell. I would think that like we're in hell now. And our job is to heal ourselves with the tools that God gave us so that we could make heaven here on earth. We could change our thoughts. We could change our whole thinking process and all those that what the ego controls us. And the ego attaches us to our thoughts and labels like I am a white person, I'm a black person, I am a Catholic, I'm a Christian, I'm a Muslim, I'm a Buddhist, I'm a Hindu, I'm whatever, right? And we get so strongly attached, and you see that in the West, like Europe, America. You see that deep attachment with being different skin colors, if you're accepted or not, and if you believe this politically, if you're like this, and if you believe the other side, then you're like this, and then they're attacking and fighting people if they don't believe like them. And it's very scary, you guys. It's just very scary when people are turning outward and they don't understand that what they're creating with their own thoughts and conceptualization, their imagery, and the things they tell themselves, they're creating their own hell, and then that's pushed outward. Whereas if you're creating a goodness within yourself, like peace, and you're repeating like affirmations, Catholic people do it, Christian people read the Bible and say affirmations. I'm sure the other religions do. Just what I've experienced, I've seen that. But for me, I love to do those affirmations. I love to do affirmations like the genius within me is now released. I now fulfill my destiny. Like it's like I'm going to fill my purpose. And the genius that God has put in me, I recognize it and see it. And I am grateful and I appreciate it. And now I'm going to push it out to the world, whatever my purpose is. We're all like that. But it's if we discover that purpose. So I went off on a tangent here. So let me get back to James said, so Therese, I want to read yours again. I believe when I died, I am free. So why putting my ashes or body in a cement or urine? I can't breathe. So that's what Therese says. I feel you on that one, Therese. James said, I used to walk and work out until I got hernia. Yeah. Do you still have hernia, or did you get an operation on that in the States? Or do you still walk around with hernia? I have hernia. I got an operation in the States when I was in my 30s. And then I had like double hernia because I was doing mixed martial arts fighting and killing myself. And I got that fixed. And then when I came to the Philippines, like when I was still competing, I think when I was 47 or maybe 45, around that time, it pushed out in my stomach. And I don't care anymore because it doesn't really affect me. But I'm just curious, James, if you got yours taken care of, or you're walking around with some hernia sticking out somewhere. No, I eat only 2 meals a day. Oh, James eats 2 meals a day. So you're same as me, James. Cherise said, I usually visit my loved ones during November 1st, Mother's Day, or their birthday. Sometimes visit during their death anniversary. Oh, so you visit your loved ones during, so what I asked you, so November 1st, Mother's Day, or their birthday. Sometimes visit during their death anniversary. Yeah, that's real common. I noticed, Therese. Thanks for sharing that. Yeah, isn't All Souls Day, Undas, isn't that November 2nd? If my memory's right, I might be wrong. Therese, can you meditate now easily? Sometimes it's getting hard for me now. Yeah, Therese, that's a really good question. Thank you for asking that question. You know, I've been meditating since I've been in my 20s, and it's never been easy for me. Because I think it's your ego, the part of you that says, that one voice that says, you don't need to do that. Just enjoy your family right now. Just go watch TV, go on your phone. You don't need to do that. But for me, I always, the same time, every day I meditate, and even if I don't feel like it, I'll just tell you, I don't know if this helps you at all, but even if I don't feel like it, Therese, I will just sit there. This is what I do when I really don't feel like it. and it happens often, I will just go sit in the place I sit, and I just sit. I don't sit like in a deep lotus like I did when I was young. I just sit with my legs open and like a quarter lotus. It's not even just sitting with my back straight basically, and I don't put anything on my upper back. And I just hold myself straight and just relax like that. And then what I do is I just sit there if I don't feel like it, and then I'll just say affirmations. I like to say a few affirmations. Let me pull one up here that I'm going to give you, like, because I I made a video about this and I deleted it because I felt like I don't want to sound like some kind of teacher or preacher, like I'm preaching to people. They have to live this way. It's just very challenging because I want to be very humble and just share just some things that I do, but I don't want to like sound like I'm like a know-it-all or like humble garo kaayo. So I just sometimes I don't share it. But when people ask me, I like to. I'm going to get back to the comments, you guys, but I want to answer this for Teresa. I want to help her in this way because for me, when I had teachers at certain points in my life, and then later in my life, I didn't have teachers anymore. And when I didn't have a teacher around, because when there's teacher around, there's people that we meditate together. It's a lot easier like that. But when you're on your own, you're the bravest soul, really, because it's much more challenging. And for me, for many years now, I've been on my own. It's very challenging. But I'm going to give you something, and let me know if you ever want me to send this to you. It's U.S. Anderson Meditation Declaration, and it was written a long time ago. I think in the 1930s. But I was drawn to this because it has all the way I do things. It's just there. And then even like I think he has 5 affirmations. I was doing 3 of them naturally. That's what's really crazy. So I was drawn to it. And then I thought I could share this with people, but it's only for people that are interested because it's very detailed. And if you're not interested, you wouldn't like it. But I want to, it's just amazing. And it's so skillfully compassionate towards the most best motivation when you're meditating. The best unselfish motivation I found when I sit, and before I start, I will say, I dedicate this. I want this to all sentient beings to have happiness and the cause of happiness, to all be free from sorrow and the causes of sorrow, to all be never separated from the sacred happiness, which is sorrowless, and to live in equanimity without too much attachment and too much aversion, and live believing in the quality of all that lives. And I love to dedicate that before I do that because I remind myself why I'm sitting here, why I'm doing this. I'm doing this because I don't just want to heal myself. I want my energy to be pushed out to help others like that. And then I think personally about my kids and about my wife, and it drives me into a deep compassion. Sometimes it moves me to tears. And then when I remember that, it will drive me into meditating. And then I'll just sit for a couple minutes and inhale through my nose, breathe out through my mouth. And then the second time I inhale through my nose, and then I will hold it for like 5 seconds. And then I will just don't breathe it out. I don't breathe it out. This is just the way I do it. No one taught me this. It's just the way over years I do this. People have all different ways. There's no right way. It's just being with God. That's it. And then when I inhale, I hold it for 5 seconds and I push it down into my abdomen. And then I follow my breathing for 2 to 3 minutes in my abdomen, like as it expands. And then I just notice it and I listen to the sounds of the birds and I'm just turning myself inward. And then once I focus on that for 2 to 3 minutes, I follow some of this, which is what I do. It's what I do. And I will give you, just let me know if you want it. You can give me an email. Like you could go to my page on my email, on my home page and just click the button there where it says email and it'll show my email and you could just email me. And if you're interested, just tell me to send it to you. And then I will have your email and then I will send it to you. But here's the So when I'm visualizing what I want, by the way, after I meditate for like around 10 minutes, something like that, I move through this practice, and then it's very simple. And then I go to while I'm imagining what I want, like my YouTube channel to reach the most people that are touched and they want this material and it helps them in some way. Like if they're suffering in some way, they will find the videos. Like I imagine that. And then they'll leave comments. Thank you. Thank you. I needed to see that. I just imagine that. And then when I'm imagining that, I'll say, like this is what the U.S. Anderson style with this he gives. He gets, I now let the genius within me shine forth. It's a little different than what I do. It's almost the same, but I say the genius within me is now released. I now fulfill my destiny. He says, I now let the genius within me shine forth. I am in perfect harmony with the working of the law. I say that one, but when I say this one, I didn't know he said that one. What I've been saying for years is I'm in perfect harmony with the working of the law. I stand aside and let infinite intelligence make easy and successful my way. But his is very easy. I'm in perfect harmony with the working of the law. So God's law, he's in perfect harmony. Then the next one, I now fulfill my destiny. Then the next one, infinite intelligence makes easy and successful my way. And I have a similar one to that too, almost identical. Then next one, I am connected to the source of all supply. And then you let the images and emotions flow together with those affirmations. And sometimes you'll just feel something, but sometimes it really moves you to tears and you're very grateful. And then you'll thank you, Universal Mind, for making this so. Thank you, God, for making this so. Like that. So anyway, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. I'm just sharing that with you. I don't know if people will leave because I'm sharing this, but let me get back. Hello. Hey, Leanne. Leanne's here. Hey, Leanne. Hello, everyone. Hello to you, Leanne. Leanne is our long timer here too. We have a few of people that are long timers. Teresa's one of them. Leanne, we have a few other people. They're not here, but
I'm sorry.
yeah. You guys, this is nuts. My wife is, let me see if you guys can see this clearly. I think they can't see it clearly.
Sorry.
I'm trying to she's putting my face on these women. Look at the top ones. All of them are me. My God, that's what my wife does. Yeah. That's pretty funny, Mom. Really, I'm beautiful. Maybe I should. It's like a man woman. Oh my God. Don't be sorry. That's pretty funny. My wife's so funny. She's been doing that all day. She made other ones and she showed my daughters, my kids. She showed my kids. Man, as a woman, I think I'd be pretty ugly. Okay, let me see. Therese said, hello, Lee. Oh, okay, you're saying hello. James, I'm still walking around with the hernia. I'm not sure I should go back to US. Yeah, James, I don't want to ask you where it is on a live stream, but me too. I've been walking around with mine for, oh my goodness. Like, I don't know, like 12 or 13 years, I think, after I got my repair. And then when it popped out again, but I had 3 of them before. Now it's just one. It's in my stomach, but it's a big one. I don't care. Don't bother me. Just sometimes when I try to do something, I'll see it there. Hey, hello, friend. But I don't worry about it. It just depends where yours is, probably. But if it's down in another area, you might have to get it taken care of. So, Therese, November All Saints Day. Number 2. Oh yeah, I got it wrong. November 1 is All Saints Day. November 2nd is All Souls Day. November 1, Mom, is All Saints Day. November 2 is All Souls Day.
November 2 is All Souls Day.
Yeah, but All Saints Day is November 1st, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what. Lower left abdomen. Hey, we might be twins. Mine's actually in the center. Yours is lower left. Therese said, looks like lady boys.
Yeah, it's so funny. I tried to
Yeah.
look on my profile and then I think it's not here, so your face is there. So
Yeah, I look like a lady boy.
That's funny though.
Yeah, but at least I have hair.
Yeah.
Yeah, Teresa, I agree with you. Looks like a scary lady boy, like a very macho lady boy, a very masculine lady boy that's looking serious to do some damage. I think if I saw someone that looked like me as a lady, I would really still steer clear. It scares me when I saw that actually. Okay, so so America, some things about America. Let's talk about America. Let's talk about the West. Hey, there's Joey. There's another long time. Joey was one of our first subscribers. I think Leanne was before, and then Teresa and Joey were. I don't know who was first, but it don't matter. I don't know why I'm saying that. Hey, Joey, howdy, back right at you, brother. Hope you and your wife are doing fine. It's good to see you. You guys look back, if you can, at what we talked about tonight. It's a very interesting subject. We talked about the 5-year burial lease in the Philippines. And it's just very interesting to me. You know, when I lived in Adrena Street, James knows where that is, I think, in Adrena Street, kind of by the church, by Borromeo. I always say it wrong. Borromeo Church. Borromeo. Borromeo Church. Yeah, the one, James, that we were in. Yeah, we live behind that in Adrena Street. It's a couple streets behind. Yeah, I used to see, at that cemetery there, that public cemetery, and I saw them uh, how they clean bones and then putting people in bags and then when people come there, you always see them right in the cars traveling there, and then taking the people to lay them to their so-called final resting spot, at least their body. Yeah, I've seen that so much here, and there's so many. What do you call those, Mom? Like when you throw the pennies in the road, don't pick them up. What are they, superstitions, or what do you guys call those?
Oh, I know. Like in Cebu, we used to do that.
No, but what do you guys call those here? Superstitions, the different, like you don't pass cars if they're coming this way.
Yeah, something like that. It's just for bad luck or something.
Yeah, I think those are superstitions, though, Mom.
Just to break the something, the chain of bad luck. Just so you have to throw.
Yeah, there's many Filipino ritual things they do and don't do. When I first came here, I saw money in the road, and I was like, "Hey, man, there's money over there." And then people was like, "Don't." Someone told me, "Don't pick that up. Don't touch that." There was a procession that just went by, and if you touch that, it's bad luck. It was pretty young Filipino actually, so I didn't touch it. So if you're getting here later, we talked about the 5-year burial lease in the Philippines, and then I compare and contrast it to America. And I really like to compare and contrast, not to America, but to the West, that how the Filipinos, it's usually, unless they have a lot of money and they have a family plot, something like that, they have 5 years and they have to pay. And if they don't pay, they're going to move the bones. They're going to clean the bones and move them to another place, another public place, maybe a generalized place where there's lots of people and there's kind of no separation. They'll put the bones in there, right, Mom? That's what I saw them cleaning. And then the other thing I saw Filipinos doing, I think it was All Souls Day, Mom, when we went there, when they were burning the candles. And then what were they burning? Remember after the All Souls Day. No, we walked there in the cemetery. Was that the day before? Was that Undas, or was it remember we went there, and then when we walked off, the boy was there and he squatted down. He's burning something. What was he doing? we were putting our hand in the smoke.
Burn the grass, just I don't know, but just
Yeah, but then we would take our hands. Mom, listen, I'm just trying to be clear. Why am I doing that? Why am I? Is it cleansing the spirits that might be there?
So the spirits won't follow you.
Yeah, that's what I thought your mom
Something
said.
like that.
Yeah, because I asked her.
So the spirit is
So that we were there. Then every year when we go there, which is common here, right? You guys in here, tell me if you're doing this too. Then in the province, we're burning grass. Then we're burning an area just right outside where we were in there in the cemetery where we went for Caroline's for our father. I call him my father too. And then we went outside there. Then we're burning grass, and then we're all going like this in the smoke, like rubbing it on us like that. And I asked Lola, I asked my mom, why are we doing that? I asked her to cleanse ourselves. And she said it's like, not her exact words, I'm paraphrasing, in Bisaya also. So I'm paraphrasing in English, her Bisaya, which she said is we're doing this so the bad spirits won't follow us from the grave area, like home or wherever we go. They will just, this will cleanse that. Very interesting to me. But yeah, but I believe that that just sounds like it's probably true, Mom. That one sounds like interesting. Therese, my brother and I bought a property in Memorial Park in Quezon City, as I mentioned above. We bought it around 2008. That cost $78,000 to $80,000 that time. My niece, brother's daughter, died in 2011. She's only 3 years old. Oh, yo. Oh, I'm so sorry. She died in 2011. Well, I don't want to ask. If you want to share, you feel free to share, Therese, to educate all of us. Anything you want to tell us about that, what happened or anything. If not, I understand. That's like 14 years ago, yeah? Wow. It's very hard. It's very hard with a child. We might be going to Negros in a month or two. Maybe we can meet up if you're not. Absolutely, Joey. Absolutely. Let me know when you guys decide when you're coming. Just let me know. Like, just tell me, and then I will meet you. We can hang out. I'll be happy to do that. I'd love to meet you and whoever comes with you, your wife, whoever, the family. Love to spend the day with you, or however time you have, how much time you have, if I'm not bothering you. Never too busy, brother. Jean Paul, our neighbors did all that burning stuff. They kept a candle lit for several days as well. Wow. Where are you, Jean Paul? Oh, Jean Paul put a picture up. Let me look at your picture. Jean, you're so funny. Because I told you didn't have a picture. Oh, military. So this looks like a military from years back. Nice picture, Jean. Wow. I can't tell what you're in, if you're in the Army or Marines, I'm guessing. It's green. Thank you for doing that. I love to see a face. Been super busy with my Amazon business and just had our new son. Super busy. Oh, congratulations, Joey. Joey just has a new boy. Joey, what's your boy's name? Your new child. Congratulations. God bless you guys. God bless your family. God bless your son. Answer two things if you don't mind. How old is he now? How many days or weeks? And then what is his first name?
David, I told you to blow your nose. David. Blow your nose.
Mom, tell Zen to come in here.
Oh,
Zen and Chloe, they should just.
Okay,
tell Zen. She has a test. Chloe has a test. Tell Zen to come in here. Zen, she's not studying. My niece died January 2nd of 2011 due to the stick of firecrackers hit her head. Oh my God. Mom,
Ah,
Therese said, my niece died January 2nd of this is how it would happen. In 2011, due to a stick of firecrackers hit her head, just like a stray bullet during New Year's Eve. Hey, Zen,
Hi.
I like to see your pretty face. Just say hi, Zen.
Hello.
We're here on live chat.
No, what is that?
We're talking about the 5-year burial lease. But Therese just shared this one because I asked her. Her niece died January 2nd, 2011. Zen, her niece was only 3 years old.
3?
She died January 2011 due to the stick of firecrackers hit her head. So like a stray bullet hit her during New Year's Eve, December 31st, 2010. Loy kayo. Sometimes like that, sometimes I think because accidents will happen because people get crazy sometimes. Like doing the celebrations and everything's legal here, which is fine, but just sometimes people do crazy things and then, Loy, that's so sad. It was in the news that time. Zen, help me go through these. Just read some of the. No, come over here so people can see your face.
Hi. Condolences.
Zenaya's here.
Hi.
Zenaya's 13, second from the eldest. Chloe is 16 now. Okay, Zen's going to help me with the messages here.
Yeah, she was only 3 years old.
Yeah,
Rest in peace.
that's really hard when it's a child
Yeah.
because they didn't get a chance to live their life.
Yeah,
It was in the news, Mom.
yeah, that's it's really like, you know.
Therese, was that in Quezon City?
Quezon City.
Yeah,
My
Quezon
sis-
City.
My
That's,
sister lives in Quezon City and Batasan Hills.
can you come here and just tell?
Huh?
Just tell your sister this.
Oh,
Just
my
tell.
sister ba?
Come here so I can hear you, Mom. The mic's here, so you have to.
Quezon City, not
Yeah.
in the province, right?
She lives here. She told me. Memorial Park in Quezon City. But she told me before. She's the one. I believe she has a Norwegian.
Oh yeah, Quezon City it's a city. It's there.
I believe she has a Norwegian husband or boyfriend. He might be her husband though, or what do you call fiance?
Fiance.
Yeah.
Fiance. Ambot unsa na siya sa Tagalog or Bisaya ay nalimot ko basta
Yeah,
kay
Quezon.
fiance. Like hapit na mo ko ano.
Where does your sister live, Mom?
Oh, in Batasan Hills, in Quezon City.
In what? Patasan Hills?
Batasan Hills.
Batasan Hills?
Batasan, yeah.
Batasan?
Batasan Hills.
Batasan Hills.
Nag-unsa ka na eh?
Unsa
Unsa man dad? Unsa man?
I'm trying to think. Your sister that lives there is Guido's mom.
Yes. It's cute. She lives in
Yeah, she's in the province, though, right? And that's a province. So she's in the city.
yeah.
What's it called again? Batasan Hills. Oh, she said Patasan Hills is near at San Mateo, Rizal.
Oh, that's why my sister wants to
Come here, Mom. They just come here
Ah.
closer to the mic. Help me, Mom, because I want you to talk. I love it when you talk.
That's why my sister wants to move in Rizal. 'Cause now I know. Closely.
Pull up a chair, Zan. It's good you're here.
I don't have a job here.
Yeah, there's a chair there. We have many chairs.
Don't
Yeah.
be introverted.
No, it's okay to be introverted, but she's coming out of her shell.
Yeah,
We're all you're introverted, Zan. We're all introverted. But we want to help do our purpose here. So sometimes you have to be bigger, make yourself bigger.
Sometimes when you're introverted, it like really like You don't like to, you just like to hide.
It's easier to hide. Yeah, Mom. It's more
Yeah.
comfortable.
Yeah.
I feel you.
It's just
But
like
sometimes-
you want to be
Mm.
like alone like that. But I still can socialize, you know. I'm flexible, but sometimes like, you know.
So I don't know if can you guys hear my wife talking?
No.
Or is she too far away from the, because I can hear her, but I don't know if you guys can. Tell me if you can hear her. But she's saying that sometimes it's easier just to stay inside, not go, not do it, not try to
Yeah.
be social. Because I think you get hurt or something like that. Maybe that's why, or you have to, people act a certain way, you have to act a certain way. Maybe she feels like that. For me, I feel like that sometimes. That's why I'm introverted, but also I just like to be real. Like, I don't know, I'm just a kind of happy person. I just want to ask people about their life. Even when I met James, who was talking in here before chatting, I didn't know him when I met him in a church for a wedding of one of the relatives of Caroline. And then his wife was in the maid of honor, I guess they call them.
No, we're the principal sponsors.
Principal sponsors. His
Oh.
wife was one.
Yeah.
So James and me were principal sponsors also.
Yeah, so that's your party.
Yeah. Yeah, he's my Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I was asking him, like, I wanted to ask him more, but I know a lot of people aren't comfortable like that. But I have boundaries, of course, but I don't have any blocks that will stop me from I want to know the person I'm talking to, and I don't have hangups about it. I'm not saying other people do, but other people do. But I'm not saying, like, I just want to know the person for real. I want to know about them, you know? And so we were sitting next to each other, and I just wanted to know him. And I noticed he's a foreigner like me. So I said, "Are you Filipino?" I knew he was a Filipino. He said, "No, are you?" And we just laughed. So anyway, Cherries, Batan Hills is in Quezon City. It's part of National Capital Region NCR. Rizal is a nearby province of NCR. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Cherries. Mom, look at Teresa's picture. She put a picture. Everybody's adding pictures. I love it. So look, you can see her picture if you go here. Yeah.
She pretty. Yeah, guapa.
Look, her channel. Oh, I have videos to watch now. So, Teresa, I'm going to watch your dog here. I'm going to later. I will do this later after the stream.
Can you make it?
So I'll know more about you. Yeah. So you know what I think about introversion? Because I'm introverted, as I mentioned, but maybe you wouldn't know it if you watch the videos, if you see me here in a live. And if you met me outside, maybe you wouldn't know it. But usually I'm just watching. But if I'm sitting next to someone, I don't have a problem talking to them. But for me, what I think in my mind is I want to push beyond my comfort zone. So I'm always breaking my comfort zone to grow. And so for me, when I was young, I used to write poetry, and it was very like, kind of, people would say negative. It was very like, I felt alone, and I'd write just these poems about that and stuff. And people would say they're very good, but when my parents read them, they'd be very afraid, because they said it's very negative, because I tell how the world is and how people, what they do, and I was looking outside myself and just making excuses for myself, not doing things or whatever. I was just making myself a smaller person. Nothing wrong with being a smaller person. Like, it's not about being humble, but just being a person that just doesn't, I don't know, want to help so much. And then I had to go past my comfort zones so when God put me in my purpose, we say when God put us in a purpose, but it's when God chooses us to find our purpose, because we're ready. So it's us preparing ourselves. And if we never prepare ourselves, then God will just show us wherever we are. He'll just, whatever we're asking for. If we live in lack, right? If we think we'll never amount to anything, or if we think we'll never have enough money, or we'll always be depressed, or we'll always have bad health, then God will give us more of that. But if we grow past our pain to the other side, we're so powerful. We're so powerful, and people, it's not about being arrogant at all. It's about just reaching your capabilities of being human, your ability to love and share, be a conduit to share the divine with others when we connect with that, and we choose that. But if we just do what everybody else is doing and we rely on books and Bibles, that is not the live spirit of God. God does not live in books. God lives as energy in everything, in all things. And to touch in that energy, we need to go inside ourselves and question everything. Question everything we learn and question it and ask, who am I? Why am I here? What is my reason to be here? And ask those deeply. And the more motivated we are, then we will really find our purpose, our reason. People call it purpose, right? Our life purpose. So anyway, I'll stop because sometimes when I start talking like that, my people go to sleep. So, okay, let me see. James, we can meet someday if you have free time. Hey, James, would love to do that. I have free time, James. We can meet, James.
Always free time.
Huh?
Free time.
Well, not always. I shouldn't say always because I have responsibility with the children for school and then their tutors. So I think I'm free after what? Three after 5 because I take after 5 p.m. Free after 5 p.m. No, Mom, because if we'll do something, then I need to take at 4 p.m. to the tutor, baby Rain. Yeah, tutor. That's what I'm saying. So after, to be safe, like 5 p.m. and after. 5 p.m. and after, James. If you want to hang out, we can meet. Oh, weekends, yeah. Weekends open. Weekends open, brother. If you want to hang out, James, would love to. If you want to, hey, we can drink coffee somewhere. We can. What do you want to do, man? Let's go out on Man's Day. Let's do a Man's Day. Oh, Sistruck's coffee, yeah. Seastruck's coffee. The one that's in the across from the statue. No. Huh? No, what's the one right there across from the statue of Rizal? In the park. Yeah, T-Tings. That one's nice too. Okay, which one? No, him and me are going to be Boys' Day, man.
Oh, Boys' Day.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're going Boys' Day, man. James and me got to get to know each other.
Okay.
Just let me know, James. Send me a message on Facebook or just message me here on the lives every Tuesday. We can meet. We can set it up for every Wednesday. We can set it up. Lives are every Wednesday at 7 p.m. We could set it up for the weekends best, man.
Walking distance sa apartment nila is walking
What's
distance.
remind me where it is, Mom. Which one?
The one in Phoenix, the Southern Station. Like we always.
Oh, the one Phoenix by where? Which Phoenix?
The one, remember when Chloe's one graduation? I know recognition. We went there with Mama.
Okay, Chloe's recognition is there. Then where is it from there?
That's the restaurant that we went.
No, where do we get the coffee, Mom? Please. You're telling by the gas station, but which gas station, Mom? I know you told the name, but where? Tell me the area. Then I will remember.
It's okay. I forgot the area. It's just I will show you.
Which the gas station where we use the credit card?
Yes.
Inside there?
No.
Across the other side.
Before the gas station.
Oh yeah. But that one's Dugay Kaayo, Mom.
But the coffee is okay.
The coffee's good, but Dugay Kaayo.
No, the food is
Dugay Kaayo, like 1 hour.
That's why.
I know everything's slow, man, but 1 hour for coffee? Come on, man.
No, coffee is quick. But yeah.
Boot Kaayo last time.
See, that's on my face.
Zen, where are you? I can't see you.
I just playing.
Come over here. You have to help me with the messages, Zen.
Okay.
We need to see your pretty face.
Arna, baby, can I check my phone, please? Come on, just stop.
Yeah, I'll message you. Coffee by the Plaza. I know the coffee shop.
Oh, Plaza, things. Yeah.
T-Tings, okay. Yeah. Message me, brother.
Fries kitty. Mark, let me see about 9:30.
No,
Yeah,
sir,
please.
9:30. No, 9:30 because you guys have exam tomorrow, so you can.
9:10.
Dili, uy, 9:30
That's
na
still
ako.
not 9. Just because nag-live one class.
No, baby.
Okay.
You have to sleep at 9.
Okay.
Wala biya ka na tuon ay.
Yeah, you're talking about one from across from Carmel's. Yes.
Oh, Carmel.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes, that's the one. You're right. That one is like kind of upscale-y, man. Like I want to go with the one like that one with the native coffee
TT.
Things.
T-Tings.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went in there a few times, kind of dark, but it's kind of cool because you get the real locals in there, the older crowd too. But we're gonna stick out anyway. But I just like the energy in there. Then I remember they have blue tables, I think, green tables, just like park benches, kind of. They're like wooden.
I'm sorry, David.
Oh, David. Sen, where you going?
Number 1.
Okay, gotcha. Sen, wait, come here. Oh, it's okay. Never mind. I'm good.
I told them to sleep at 9 because they have exam. 9:10. No, Sam.
It's 8:24 now.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys, what's up? So James and me are gonna get some coffee.
Coffee date.
We got a coffee date.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good, man. So you guys, this Mom, look, I can't say nang, but she said kaninya. I can't say kaninya.
Huh?
Naman.
Kainggit.
Yeah, I can't say the
Kainggit.
kanya.
So, unsa man ang
Kaninggit.
Kasabot ka na.
Yeah, kasabot ko, but how kainggit.
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 Nag-jealous siya. Jealous.
Who, Caroline?
No, si Charis. Because
She's
you
jealous.
and James will go to
Yeah.
coffee.
Cherise, come down here, man. Come on, then we'll bring
We'll
bring the wives.
Oh, Tagalog
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. Punta ka dito sa punta ka dito sa Negros.
Yeah, Bisaya, but yeah, it doesn't matter.
Dili man different ang Tagalog.
I know, Mom, different kayo, but I'm saying.
Different dili.
Okay na.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, okay. I'm reading. Kaninggit naman ha. So she feels jealous. Just come, man. But that's far. Maybe we'll have to. Hey, James, maybe we'll travel up there. We'll go up to where Therese is. Layo kayo, but okay. Yeah, that'd be cool. Therese, what do you want to know? Do you want to know anything about meditation? Do you want to know anything? You want to teach me something about meditation? Tell me. Tell me what you do. Or tell me if you want me to share something else. I'm so happy to share, but I don't share because huy, that's a lamok. They're killing lamok behind me. Patay lamok. Patay kayo. Daghan lamok. Patay in the balay here. Ang wall. Ang? Ang. Like hanging there on the wall. Oh, good native. I didn't know you go there. Yeah, I haven't gone there in a long time. James, I got a funny story, man. Hey, you guys, I'll tell everyone this is a funny story. It's funny now. It wasn't funny when it happened. My wife's going to remember this when I tell. I can be really crazy sometimes by accident. Okay? I'll tell you what happened. I went there and then I met someone and one of my friends, and we drank coffee. And then I came out of there and and I had like a ninja motorcycle or something. What kind of motorcycle was that red one, Mom? That was the same one or the one next to it? Rouser, yeah.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah. Looks like a ninja kind of. But it was really cool in the day, right? The Rouser here in the Philippines. Yeah, before. So this is many years ago. So then I had the Rouser and it was red and I loved it. So I was going back to my Rouser and then there was another one like close to mine. And it looked exactly the same as mine. I got on that one and I started putting the key in there. And I'm like, why won't my key like fit? I kept trying to turn it. And then a guy behind me is yelling. I heard him yelling in Bisaya, but I just ignored. And he kept yelling. And then he said, Patay siya, something. He said, like, Patay siya. Like, when the guy is yelling, Patay, Patay ka.
He's thinking
No, because then I turn around and he's pointing at, he has a gun. And he's pointing the gun at me like this. And then I'm just frozen. I'm like, sir, like, wait. Like, then he told then he talking English. That's my motorcycle. Then I became fluent in Bisaya because I was so scared. But he's like gonna kill me, and I was so scared, and it was very real, man. And he was really gonna kill me. And then he's walking with his gun drawn at me. Get off the bike, get off the bike. And then I got off, and then he's checking, and he's like, if you damage this, you're paying for it. He was yelling at me, but not loud, but just yelling at me and very direct. He was yelling at me, but not loud, just very, you're gonna pay for this, you shouldn't be on this, my motorcycle. Why are you trying to steal it? And then I showed him my motorcycle. I said, look, it was like 2 down. That's my motorcycle, sir. So sorry ka? Sorry kaayo? Sorry kaayo, sir. Sorry, sir. Then I think he was really gonna shoot me or, you know. So then I showed him, and then he still was pissed off though. And then he checked, and then he said, okay, he didn't say anything, but there wasn't damage. I didn't damage. So I got on my bike and got out of there. And after that day, I just seldom went to Tings, man. Like just a couple more times after that in all these years, just because I remember that. But it's funny now. But back then it was pretty scary, man. So anyway, that's my story. Really, my mind wasn't paying attention closely because I got on his motorcycle and I thought it was mine. But if I would have looked closely, I could have seen a few things were different. Okay, I'm gonna stay here. We'll just see what the family's doing here.
Oh,
Why you have to be perfect?
No, because
You don't have to be perfect.
I'm not saying that. Just,
People's bored just seeing my face all the time.
Ay,
There's Baby Rain.
yeah. Dali na, kuhaan na ta. Mag-prepare na ta for tulog.
There's David shooting things or making noises.
Just,
I wish I had my mobile sometimes hooked up.
Uh-huh.
I wish I had my mobile. I can do mobile, but I like to use my laptop better. I have to shave tomorrow, Mom.
Why? Were you going
Because
somewhere?
just it looks on camera. It looks like
Okay, you don't have to shave.
okay. Let me check the.
Don't shave like 1 month.
Yeah, James, you usually go during the daytime. We could do that, and we can just like on the weekend, if you want to go during the daytime. Otherwise, during the week, just I have my children responsibilities, like so many kids and so many different ages, all different times. Chaos is going on. So, but it's our lovely chaos. It's our beautiful chaos. So, I really want to meditate every day. Therese home. I really want to meditate every day. It's challenging for me, to be honest. I do meditate once or twice in a week. I want to do that every day. Then you know what I recommend, Therese, is just to, before you go to sleep at night, just see yourself, before you go to sleep at night, like have an affirmation that you like. I can send you If you want, I can send you some, but I'm sure you have some affirmations. And okay, James, but we're going. We're going on the weekend though. For sure, we're going. So, Teresa, I would just forget the affirmation when you go to sleep until you get to the point where you want to be, since you're wanting to do that every day. Is just before you go to sleep, see yourself as the last thought. Then you will go to sleep in that, and then you will push it out. You will push that out. God will answer you when you. The last thought when you go to sleep is your imagination, like a video, but you're in it. It's not a movie. And see yourself sitting in meditation, and you're at peace. And then you know you're at peace because you're just sitting still and looking at yourself, and you know what your peace feels like, right? And you're at peace, and you're blissful. You feel blissful, and you're so grateful. And then you can say an affirmation like something like, "I'm so happy and grateful that I'm blissfully meditating. I'm so happy and grateful that I'm blissfully meditating." You could say that a few times. I would say that like maybe 10 times. And then just imagine yourself just sitting there, you're meditating and you're in peace. You see yourself doing it like it's real, like it's already happened. And that's the end of the story. You're there, you're sitting there, and you're at peace. And you feel like a glow around you, and you feel so happy and grateful. And just keep running that imaginary state through your head until you fall asleep. And if you feel something like a blissful feeling or some kind of joyful feeling that moves you to tears, it might happen every once in a while. Just feel that. Don't try to think something or change it. Just feel that state, and then just when it goes away, just thank you like that. Thank you. But imagine yourself however you meditate, when you're doing it sometimes during the week, in that spot. Imagine it. And it's easier to manifest those kind of things when you're actually doing them. Okay, let me give you an example. This is not meditating, but just it's the same thing. When I came here to the Philippines, I was going back and forth when I first came here because I am not a nurse. I worked as a nurse. I worked as a registered nurse for many years, and I was supporting us going back and forth. And the kids, when Zanea was born, I was still doing that. And then, so I manifested. Yeah, you're right, James. That's exactly it. We're just things that you probably do or know. Just this is just how we live, Caroline and me. How we live. We manifest things in our lives, and I always warn like our children. They're young, so they don't know. But I always it's just like in love, like a teaching thing, like calm teaching, like, hey, Gene, no, Gene, I don't consider myself a Christian. I don't, because for me, I don't follow, I don't, a lot of people get pissed off and try to control me with this, but I don't really care what other people think. And it's not in a mean way, it's in a loving way. It's just God gave us our own minds to think and make our choices. So for me, I believe that the Bible, there's only parts of it that were published. There's a lot more that exist. And then that humans decided what would go into that. And then a lot of Paul's things, as I did my research, Paul's students, they were writing letters, and those things were put into the Bible. Even Paul didn't, if he was around, I don't think he'd want his letters going in there. This is just things that I research, and it's my choice. And I'm not telling other people to believe like me. But the Christians have some Christians, fundamental Christians, have a problem with pushing their beliefs on others. And I know what they're doing. They're proselytizing because they're so happy, and that Christ, and I know that, I know those things. But for me, the book is not a living spirit of God. No book, no religion is a living spirit of God. God is everywhere in all things. So for me, I don't, even though maybe I follow Jesus and I believe in Jesus, I don't consider myself a Christian at all. Because my feeling is too, I tell my wife this sometimes, she laughs, but sometimes people get pissed off, but I'm not trying to piss anybody off. I'm just telling my viewpoints, and you can disagree with them, or people can agree or disagree. I think if Jesus came back today, that a lot of the Christians, especially the leaders, would be just like the rabbis and the Pharisees of that time, and would not know it was Jesus Christ. Because Jesus is free, and his teachings would be so radical and so different that people wouldn't know it was him. That's what I believe. And they wouldn't even know. So I've debated many Christians and even scholars, but I'm done with that stuff. I'm done with the debates, because in my mind, God is love, and we're not supposed to be getting to the bottom of truths that aren't even truths. The majesty of God is too complicated for our minds to understand. But if we search within ourselves, we can get the answers to many of God's secrets, and then many other secrets we won't get the answers to. The ones that God will share with us is when we go inside ourselves. And when I was going to the church, like fundamentalist and different churches, because I visit different churches and sometimes talk and just meet people. A lot of people would tell me, "Oh, if you cross your legs, if you meditate, you're not Christian. You're not." So I said, "Fine, I'm not Christian then. I don't label myself anything. Did Jesus call himself a Christian? I'm a human being, but I know that God is everywhere, and God is within us also. But many of the fundamentalists will say that's blasphemy, and you're humble, girl. You're arrogant if you think that. But we're not arrogant. We're people that believe that search within themselves for many years. They get glimpses of truths in different ways, and then they present those to the world. And then the people that are meant to hear those messages will. But to answer your question in a long-winded way, I don't consider myself anything. At one point in my life, I was doing the Buddhist teachings, but I never considered myself Buddhist. I was a man in search of my life purpose through the divine, whatever you call that. If you want to call that whatever people want to call, even the divine's too small. But some people don't follow me or listen to me because if I say I'm not Christian, but I don't want to follow those things, those religious that humans will say you have to fit into this box or you're not. The religions will say that, and I'm not in those boxes. And God cannot fit in any of those boxes. The teachings, his deep teachings, his truths that you will find when you search deep for not being an expert, but always being just a simple person in search of God. You will find in some people that's Christianity that serves them, and other people have different religions, but they're always fighting each other. And then the different sects of the different are fighting each other. But that's outside of me. That has nothing to do with my spirit and my connection to the divine. Everything that has that as a personal experience. And for me, I connect in that through meditation and affirmations and living in that spirit daily without like having to have to do it the right way. I do it in a flexible way that that allows me to connect and and feel deep joy and deep blissfulness and tears and sadness for like deep emotions for others that I never could connect with when I was really rigid. Before in my life I was fundamentalist and really following the Bible like that. It was for me. It was I as I was searching and finding the truths through the divine, through the laws of the universe. I couldn't fit in a box anymore, and I didn't feel like what humans say. You will go here if you don't believe this or you do this, and then the religions disagreeing and debating and fighting each other. I don't want any part of that. I'd rather just be in spirit. Uh, as much as I can without force during the day, to be in spirit and to be in connection with the divine through affirmations and then through feeling, being real in the moment, in the present moment, and living and feeling everything from that, feeling it. And then the sadness I was talking about is when the world suffers, because the world, we are ignorant. We don't know about these truths of suffering and how humans suffer with different emotions and different behaviors because of our mindset and being attached to to just being attached to labels and being attached to what people should do for us, and then using other people. And if they don't meet those needs, we throw them away like basara, like trash. But that's like business and just friends. If you can't do something for them, they will throw you away. Especially here in the Philippines, there's many good things, but the behavior sometimes is like that. I noticed. If you come as a foreigner, you'll never have a friend as a Filipino. You will never have a friend. You're the people that will say you're friends. They will get something from you, and then when they stop getting that from you, they will throw you away like basara. That's behavior. That's real. And I'm not saying that to put anybody down. I'm just being real with the human suffering. And when that happens, that's sad. That's so sad, because the person doing that behavior don't know like that's ignorance. So you know what happened for me? I have many bad behaviors also, but for me, I'm aware, and I can connect, and I can go within and see and recognize my behaviors and know that I can choose not to do those behaviors, and they're just thoughts passing by. I don't have to attach to them.
Give me your phone, David.
I can just let those thoughts pass, right? That's what meditation does for you. So okay, I went off on another tangent. I don't know, sir, if George will agree with me. More spiritual is achieving our higher self. Yeah, Therese, that's the same. We're in the same. That's why you're here in the community. That's why we're here together, because we connect in that way.
Come on, David. Come.
We connect in that way.
No, David.
Yeah, that behavior happens everywhere. Gene, you're right. But the difference, what I'm saying is, if you're an American in America, you maybe you have friends from youth or friends there. They're really your friends, right? They're really your friends. You have a few friends like that. But in the Philippines, to be real, it's not like that if you're a foreigner. And Filipinos, they have a totally different culture. As you know, like when they grow up with each other, those are their friends, the ones that they really grow up with. They run with their barcadas. Those are their friends. They'll have friends. They will hang on. Mom, I can't say that. You can say that as a Filipino.
Yeah, but it's true.
Come here. Be
Chiva,
brave and say.
Charis, when you're in the Philippines, our culture, like when you're
Turn it down, guys.
when you're plastic, you know plastic. When you're plastic, then you have many friends. But when you're real, like you will say like what's in your heart, then many like don't like you. Yeah, because remember my mouth is like that.
Hey,
And
I don't know, Mom.
I will
That's
say,
your truth. You
yeah,
go
then
for it.
I don't care if they don't like me or not, as long as I'm telling, what's my con like that. So okay.
But how you became like that?
Huh? Because of experience over agents.
No, but why you became that way? I think because we're together.
Yeah,
You
also.
became that no because you became more aware of things as you started searching things within your own heart and started doing practice yourself, right?
Yeah.
That's the difference. And then you got your own truths with that. But there's many things that I choose not to say that I could say just out of skillful compassion and understanding because I'm not Filipino and we're all humans, right? At the end of the day, we're all humans and we are all connected to the divine. But when you're in a culture that has stereotypes and all the things that the Filipinos has, but it's not just the Philippines, like Gene said, it's everywhere. But we stick out here because
Yeah,
we're foreigners.
But
But wait, mom.
okay.
So I choose not to say some of those things. But my wife is free, and I will support her. She's free to say those things.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
when I before I used to say like Filipinos really like
turn it
I
down, guys.
thought like Filipinos really like helping each
Turn it down.
other like that, not pulling each other down. But
Turn it down.
when I when I experience what our experience about our that or I won't say just
Yeah, just don't go there,
yeah.
mom.
So that's why I realized it's behavior like that. There's people like that.
Yeah, but not everybody's like that. Just in general,
Mm.
because we can make stereotypes about other people too, right? It's just we don't go there. Meaning we make sure that we can feel things and we'll know things just because we're practicing a certain way, and it just we're aware of things, and we're not better than anyone. It's just we decided to go in that direction, and so when we feel those things, we just naturally we attract people in our lives that are the same mindset. That's what happens when we change our energies in a certain way in our life, in a good way, in a positive way, instead of
Yeah, when you don't
when
entertain negativity anymore.
it's not just the negativity, it's the world, what the world's expectations, what they think you should be, even your parents sometimes. But it's the world. If you don't fit in those boxes, you don't belong. You don't belong anymore, and you don't fit into what we think you are. And some people say that's victim mentality, but that is very different than victim mentality. It's empowerment. Victim mentality is when, shh, baby, please wait, baby. Victim mentality is when you say, "Oh, I'm in this group, and then you don't treat me in this way, and you owe me." So you're like this, like what you see with different fighting in America with different groups. And if they're a certain skin color, then if you're not that skin color, you don't understand my experience, man. You're not part of my experience. And that's ignorance and not understanding the human connectivity at all. That's just looking at your body and your skin color is very narrow because it's not looking at the person's character, looking at the person's spirit. Just like how God sees us, He looks at our heart. God sees our heart, and even maybe we don't know our heart 100%, but God does. So those things, that's what I'm talking to. And what Gene said, the behavior happens. It does. It happens everywhere. Friends come and went. Most, if not all, just drifted apart. Yeah, that's true, James. Especially in America, that's true. But some people, they have childhood friends still. Like for me, I have a friend in America. I have a couple from my childhood. We still in contact, and there's other people like me like that from our generation. But a lot of people have moved or moved on, and then they're not in contact anymore. And friends come and go, really. But in the Philippines, I think it's a little different here because yeah, friends and family, right? Right, Gene? Gene, you know that. But I'm just explaining to you my view at a better way maybe you can understand. But where I'm coming from, that's all. Just my points. But I don't expect anybody to agree but I'm not going to fight anybody because of that. But let me get back to Therese. I want to. So Therese, with the example I was going to give you, and I like to give, like, if it's someone in my family or if it's me, like personal, very spiritual examples that when you have the experience, you cannot, no one could shake your faith. No one can make me go into a Bible and stick my face in there, say, I have to believe this, because my faith is so strong because of the experience I had with the divine. And what happened was when I was asking, and I don't share this on the channel because I don't feel like I want to share financial things. So I won't go that deep, but I will just tell you what happened. And this is very real. It happened to my wife and I. And so what happened was I didn't even know about like manifestation. I didn't hear those words. I was just meditating, but I was just, I didn't know, but we manifest everything, right? But I couldn't connect my behaviors, why I was manifesting good things that were good and positive and were fruitful for other people, and why I was manifesting bad things. I didn't understand where it was bad just because of my luck or something, right? But what happened was what changed that was when I had a massive experience. And because of the experience, my eyes opened up to, oh my God, like after it happened. And then like 6 months after it happened, I realized that was an experience of manifestation and how I did it. So I understood the steps I took so I could repeat that. And at that time, I didn't know Neville Goddard. I knew Joseph Murphy from affirmations, but I didn't, he just mostly talks about affirmations and talks a little about manifestation, but I didn't come across that, just affirmations. And then I didn't know Florence Scovel Shen. I didn't know any of those, the ones you've mentioned too. And other people too I want to mention, but I can't remember right now. But what happened was I wanted to find a way not to have to go back to America. And so what I did was I started when I would be meditating, I would just be aware that I didn't want to go back to America, like in my meditation. And then I'd go deep into my meditation with those thoughts. And then what happened was my wife and I owned a store, kind of a big store, but it failed. It failed bad. It like crashed and burned. But anyway, during that time we spent around 400,000 pesos. Yeah, for 4 or 500,000 pesos. I don't know, but it's okay. It was just, but I met someone that came into the store. I already knew them. I saw them every day, and out of nowhere, they're telling my wife about Upwork and about the work they did. And this was around 2012, 2013. And they said they were working on Upwork and they were doing web design. David, can you lower just a little? Mom, can you lower the voice?
Yeah.
Okay, so he said that it just came, right? So I was attracting those kinds of things. And then I found out about Upwork, and then I just put my resume. He told like another day he came because my wife told his wife I was interested. So he told me how to go to Upwork and everything. So this is when Upwork was pretty good a long time ago. And then I just put in my resume, and then a guy named Brent Daniels, who's very famous now, and during the real estate boom in America was very famous for real estate. If you're in like wholesale off-market deals, you would know who Brent Daniels is because he teaches. And him and Pace Morby, they just became, and Jameel, they have their own YouTube stuff they do. But at that time, Brent wasn't famous, and he said, "Hey man, can we have a meeting from Upwork?" And then I didn't even know how to use Upwork, but I was just doing it. And then he said, "Hey, I'll pay you." At that time, it was like, what did I start at, Mom? $5 or $6 an hour? $5 or $6 an hour. I'll pay you to make calls for me because you're an American, and he could get me at that price because I was in the Philippines. No, when I started, Mom. I was $5 or $6. So then I started calling for him and making calls and asking homeowners. Like I was annoying people in America, the people that would know these calls. When you ask, "Hey Jim, how you doing? This is George. I just want to know if you'd want to be interested in selling your property today, or if your property needs any work, you'd be interested in just letting it go for cash." I just ask because I know how to talk to people, so I just be doing that. At least on the phone, I know how to talk to people. So I was doing that for him, and then I was thinking, this is not enough, right? Because we're always in lack, right? Humans, we're always in lack. It's not enough. I need more. But we don't know how to ask. So what? Am I going to be selfish and pray just for myself or my family like that? No. For me, I don't want to do that. For me, it's not in my heart. For me. So then I said, I just by accident, I would just sit in meditation and I would see myself making the calls for Brent, and then him telling me, he would tell me, "George, just like, baby, wait, baby, please." We'd always meet on Skype every week. We'd have a meeting with his he had another agent and me. And then I was his first agent and he had another agent, another American agent. And then we meet in Skype, and then there was a Filipino lady that would do the paperwork and stuff. And we'd send our stuff to her. So we'd always meet every week, and we'd meet every week. And then he would talk to us and tell us things or whatever. And then he'd teach us really good, right? And then we'd get better. So then I would see myself, when I was meditating, I would see myself in those meetings, and then Brent saying in front of everyone, "George, what can I do to keep you? How much can I pay you? What do you need? You've made me millions of dollars, and I need you. I can't lose you." I was just doing it like that, but I didn't know what I was doing. I was just naturally, the thoughts would come like that. And then after meditation at nighttime, I just fall asleep. So I was doing what Neville Goddard, what Florence Scovel Shen, what Joseph Murphy, all of them, what their teachings, especially Neville Goddard. And I didn't even know I was doing that, right? So what happened from that was I was working with him for like 3.5 years. On the second, I kept doing that for like 3 months. I just kept doing that. I like every day, and before I went to sleep, I was doing that. But I didn't know I was doing that to do that. Couldn't connect it. So what happened was I told my wife, I want to start a call center here in the Philippines, but just a small call center. And I want to hire Filipino agents to make the calls, and I will teach them just what I'm doing and teach them how to use the software that I use so they can do it. Because all these wholesalers, I know them through Brent. And then, Mom, please. And then Brent during that time was developing his TTP, which became very big, his business. And then the TTP.
No.
I guess I'm not supposed to be talking
Come on,
anymore.
baby. Come on.
I love you, Dad.
I love you too, baby.
Come on, listen.
So he developed the TTP program, talked to people, and then he taught all his students and the wholesalers. He made this way to do things, and it was what I was doing basically. But he perfected it, right? But I wanted to do this one. So then I was just manifesting that without knowing it. And then what happened was he made a YouTube video that I didn't even know about. Mom, can they please keep it down? They have to keep it down, Mom. Just till I'm done here, please. Okay, so what happened was Brent made a YouTube video, and I think he just had about 10,000 subscribers at that time. And he told people that he had a caller in the Philippines named George that made him $2 million. He told people that. And the video went viral. And then the people started asking him where this person is. They want to hire him. And then he just told I'm in the Philippines. Well, during that time, because I didn't even know he made the video, I had started a call center here. Just I was manifesting it. It was being pushed out into my physical world. And then I thought I could do it no matter what. And then a guy came over to my house, a Filipino, and said, I have a call center. I have 13 agents over there, but we don't have any clients. Can you bring clients in? And I knew that was God. So I told him, even though I didn't know, I didn't have any procedures or anything, I just knew I wanted to do it. I told him, absolutely, I will fill up your call center with all the work they can get, and it's going to be too small of a call center. You're going to need more agents. You're going to have to grow. And so what happened was in the next 6 months, that all happened. And then what happened was the call center started doing some behaviors there with the clients that I was bringing in, all the clients. And all the TTP clients from Brent Daniels were coming to us and hiring us. And we had a 6-month waiting period, and just money was flowing in, and it just happened overnight. And we ended up going virtually to handle all of them. And I left the call center, but didn't take the clients. I said, no, you can have them. I didn't say anything bad to the call center, even though I knew the behaviors they were doing. They were stealing clients, basically. Just the typical behaviors, right? I didn't say anything to them, just out of compassion. And I just went virtual, and then developed all these ways we could enter into the software virtually. And then before they were developing the one softwares where you could do it, this is a long time ago. And then we hired so many Filipinos at that time. It was my wife's business. Everything was through my wife. It was legal. I was just the founder kind of thing. And then my wife was doing things, talking, communicating with the Filipinos. That's what she's talking about, though, when something happened, when our clients would disappear. But for me, I didn't pay attention to that because my vision was so massive, and I knew we were just blowing this out of the water. But so anyway, I manifested that, and I understood the steps later. And I understood because I was doing that work, that's why the manifestations were happening so powerfully and so hugely. And I realized everything I was manifesting in my life before that, the negative things, the good things, were because of my thoughts. And I realized how to channel my thoughts by focusing my mind, not wasting my time just sitting in meditation. Because to me, that's kind of like, it gets you somewhere, but it's kind of selfish for me just to be doing it for peacefulness or something. But at first I was doing that, right? But later on, I felt like I had a purpose and I wanted to help others, And so that we were helping, like my wife was hiring Filipinos one after another. We had, at one point, my wife had like so many Filipinos. I don't want to say the number online. I don't want to say, but it was just a massive manifestation. And then I was so grateful. It moved me to tears. It was so powerful because I figured out what was so powerful. I want to share with you guys why it's so powerful. And when you have these experiences, you know that God is there, and you know how to pray. You don't beg. You never beg. You just believe, and you prepare yourself, and you believe it's true. And then God's going to answer you so powerfully because you're doing the things in the way that God wants to give you the gifts. He wants to give you all the abundance because he wants us to know, to find out in ourselves, like a riddle. Solve the riddle within yourself to find out how to solve your sufferings through your spoken words, through your thoughts, your spoken words, through your imagination, the things you think. They all lead, they all connect. You need to learn to connect those in a positive way. And then my gift to you is to push those out into your physical world and to heal you. And then the gifts, the fruits that you have are going to be so abundant that you can share them with other people. And when people listen to you talk, and when they see what you're doing without you ever having really, you're just talking and sharing, but you're not doing it in a selfish way. The people will see what you're doing, and the ones that are supposed to be attracted will come, and then they will find their purpose through you because it's not you as a person. You're shining your light through as a conduit of God, as a vessel of God in understanding and love. That's all. The only thing I'm doing for the people that are supposed to hear it, even if it's one person, is understanding what I'm saying through love. And I am the conduit through God, what he puts and shares through me, and I push that out. And the people that hear me and see me on YouTube that want to fight me and put me down, I will just ignore those people because it's no problem. It's not for them. And that's fine. It's not for them. There's something else for them. There's another way. Just for the people that hear me and have questions, or they want to know, they're hungry for that spirit is in them for this one, then those are the ones that will come and we'll be a community together. And that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. And you'll never hear me say, oh, we only have 4 viewers, or I only have 100 views, or whatever. You'll hear me say is, I want to get to more people. I want my videos for more people to see them, so that the right people will hear them and come into the community. Because I know they're there, because I see the comments in my videos, and the 95% or even 98% of the comments are positive and so moving, and they move me, and I try to answer everyone, but sometimes I can't answer everyone. I don't see the messages after I respond. YouTube won't show me those. I have to find another way in YouTube. And sometimes I just can't do that. I'm doing other things to put out my material, but I answer everyone at least once. And if I know, I'll answer them twice or 3 times, but sometimes I won't know the answer. They ask me another question. So I apologize for that. But those are the people that will be here. And that's what's happened to me. And it's happened many times. Other things that happen is, I didn't know anything about cryptocurrency, and everyone said it was a scam. And I found cryptocurrency in 2015, and I just didn't know anything. But the things that I ended up being part of, and I don't want to share more than that, but just they exploded and things happened, and then our life changed. It wasn't personally my life; it was everyone's life. My wife's life, her family's life, are the people that we know that in the community that we could share things with. But I never share those things in videos. I don't share those things on social media, because they're like, when we do the work of the divine, I don't want to say God's work, but just the divine, what puts in our hearts, we're not supposed to share that. It's like, it means something else if we share that. If we share that with other people, it's like something that we want to share, and we need to show how big we are, or something like that. And for me, I don't want to do that, because I want to just share through my work, through the spirit of the divine and God's laws. And that's all. The things that I've learned, not through fundamental religions. That's it. That's why I separate it. But I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying I want a different way. And people can judge me as they want. It doesn't bother me, because I have one to prove things to, and then a purpose to serve. And the one is God. What we call God, which is much greater than any words. The great I am. But since he's the great I am, and I'll get back to the comments in a minute, and when we say, thank you, Father, like even the Bible, the Psalms, thank you, Father, for thou hast heard me. I know you always hear me. That's in the Psalms, right? But Neville Goddard says, thank you, Father, for thou hast heard me. I knew you always hear me, because it's already happened. It's a big difference, But for me, I just, what feels in my heart, that's not of my ego, that it's not, it's the power of God. I will follow. And then when I pass from this body to something else, whatever comes from what my actions, so be it. But I don't believe that what the Christians will tell me And the Christians is a wonderful religion. I think it's the most powerful religion because it's very different than any other religion. But I have a problem believing that we don't earn, because how we treat others every day and the merit we earn from our goods, the good we do, to how we treat ourselves, how we follow God's laws, and how we will treat our neighbors and just other people every day, even in the simplest way. And then praying for other people before we even start sitting in meditation, that the power and the motivation of this will be for the greater good of others. I believe you have to earn that, and then you have to dedicate it after you're done. By the merit that I'm doing, may it go to all other beings. May they be healed. You know, it has to be like that. It has to be like that. It can't, for me, it has to be like that. So when a person experiences something that they understand how they did it and how God put that thought, and then the seed was planted by God, and then you watered it. You're the one that watered it. You're the one that planted it. You planted it. You watered it. And then you're the one that let it grow, and you kept doing your practice and kept doing your practice, kept doing your practice for many years until the fruits, and the way you can see the fruits of another person, you can listen to their words, and then you can listen, and then you can look at their life, and you can look at their life, how far do their stems and their branches go, and then the fruit, is it rotted fruit, or is it abundant fruit where when people eat it just spreads and it's endless? You can look at a person's life, you can look at their actions, and you can look even when they're not speaking, just look and look what's happening in their life around them. Then you'll know, this person, I want to do something that this person's doing. I want to look at what they're doing, because there's something here I can learn from. But if someone's spousing something, and then you look at their fruits and it's all rotted, but they're talking so good with a sweet tongue, be careful. Be careful. Okay, let me get back to the comments. So I wanted to give you that, Therese, is I found out from before I go to bed when I'm meditating. But for me, I don't need to do that all the time. I will just go to bed, and then I will focus on, I will imagine, I will make sure I'm calm for a couple minutes and I'm at peace, and I'm not going to bed angry or fighting with someone or having anger towards anyone. And then my mind's peaceful, and then I will imagine what I want to push out into my physical world. I will imagine that. And when I first started doing it, when I did Brent Daniels, it was in great detail because I was doing that work. So I saw myself in the meeting, and then Brent saying that, and then it happened because I was doing that. So that's the challenge, is as you're doing these, to be able to do that when maybe it's something you're not doing. But for me, I'm always doing it for things that we're doing, or they're related to what we're doing, and then we're just building on that. So the YouTube channel. How did we go in 1 year to almost 22,000 subscribers in 1 year? How did that happen? But I don't know. I mean, I know because I'm manifesting those things, and I'm understanding divine laws. And I know even if we have one viewer here on the streams, later we're just going to keep building this. And we know later this, because what I see in my mind is thousands of viewers, and I see thousands of people coming to our community, not for me, but from what I'm doing, from what God puts as my purpose. And then they're finding their purpose, and then the fruits run deep. That's what's gonna happen, because it's already happened. I already see it done. And then my wife's doing it, and then I manifest on my wife's behalf because she wants it. If the other person wants the same thing, you can manifest for them because they want the same thing. And then her business is the cold calling business, and then later it became more than that. VAs doing, even engineers doing stuff in the Philippines for for the foreigners in America, and then having stable and more money, making more money, because we always want to lift up the Filipinos. And then my wife, that's my wife's business, and my wife also has a beauty salon and in Gaisano, and then she has, I like to brag about her, and then she has well, she has a beauty salon somewhere else, and then that's doing really well, cutting hair, massages, nails, everything, color, perms, whatever. And then she has the supplies that she sells, the house supplies in Gaisano, that she's doing, manifesting and just growing that stuff. Yeah, beauty products. She has other ideas so that she's doing, and then all of a sudden she surprised me with something, because Filipinos won't tell you a lot of times, but my wife tells me a lot if she wants me to help her. So
Yeah, but when you
Yeah.
want a business, like it's a calling, so like it's your passion.
yeah,
I mean, you
no, but that's your business, Mom. I can't. I'm a founder. That's it. Legally, Carolyn Naharo is the owner of EWC Virtual Hub, but it's called. If you guys want to know the name of that one, we have a different website, not the .com one anymore. We have a different one. Maybe one day I'll share that one. I made the website. I did the coding and everything in the website, if you can believe that. And I didn't know anything about websites over the last like 10 years. And in the 10 years, I had so many frustrations trying to do it. And I finally learned how to do it. And I made a website, simple landing page. That's all I wanted. But for me, it's beautiful. Maybe I could share it with you guys. And then I'll get back to the comments, because I'm proud of this one. I'm just proud because anybody can do anything if I can do this.
I'm proud of you, Dad.
Thank you, Mom. What's the one called? The Virtue? Is it Virtue? The one I made on the one I made.
Oh, ako, card, what's that?
Yeah, that's it. Give me a second, guys. I'm going to show you. Okay, I'm going to show you guys. Let me go to the website here. But I'll just show you the one I made for Raising Roots, you guys. The other one I'll show you another day, but because it doesn't relate to what I'm doing, so I have to show you Raising Roots. I just don't want to get like some trouble on these live streams. So let me show you. I just finished, Mom. When did I finish this one? A couple days ago, right?
Yeah, last week.
Okay, let me share this. Just let me see. Tell me if you guys can see this. It's so slow. Can you see it, Mom? Are you looking?
No,
Still me talking?
wait, yeah, but I can't go there. It's like
What?
it will show the
Okay, there. It's coming, I think.
the one that
It's a black screen now. Let's see if it really, why it doesn't share anymore.
no. Maybe the side.
Really, that's sad. No, I can't share it. It's not showing. It's a black screen. Okay, never mind. Yeah, I can't share it, you guys. So it's so far. I can't share it, you guys. So sorry about that. But let me get back to the comments. If there's another way I could share it, I'll share it with you guys. But it won't. For some reason, everything's just black tonight. It's not. It's not showing. Okay, let's go to the comments. James said it's almost like manifesting something said before. Yeah, you're right, James. And then Charisse said, thanks for your suggestions. Really appreciate it. And we'll do it tonight. Awesome. I'm glad, Charisse. I feel like you really want to do, you're motivated because you're asking, you asked last live stream something too. And it makes me feel good because I don't have these things in my mind till you'll ask a question and then it just flows into my mind and then I want to share it in a clear way. I hope it's coming across clearly. I did it before in a blissful moment. Wow. So you've had that experience. You've done it before in a blissful moment. Yeah, so you know that's unshakable, right? When you feel that, you know it's real, right? It's not like just some practice, like someone put you in a box and you have to do it this way. When you feel it, you know, wow, there's something massive here, something that we can tap into. I don't know if Sir George will agree with me. It's more on spiritual. It's achieving our. Yes, that's it, Cherries. I 100% agree with you. You really know how to describe it. Cherries said it's more on a spiritual. It's more achieving a higher self. Yeah. Have you guys ever read the book Jonathan Livingston Seagull? Do you know the author of that was a student of Neville Goddard? Did you guys know that? And for years he had that book. It was in his basement and he never wrote it. He never wrote the book. He wrote it, but it was finished, but he never published it because people told him it was no good. And then he didn't feel like it was good. So I think for like 10 years it was in his basement. And then he started visualizing it just being like a top hit. He actually went in his basement and did affirmations and visualizations, and he ended up, Mom, please. And it came true. He visualized millions of people all over the world reading his book, thousands and thousands. And during that time, it was like, I don't know, in the 40s or 50s, I think, or in the 30s even. I don't remember when that was published, but he got that published and it was a #1 bestseller. And it's still to this day, people are reading it. And I read it in like, I think 1990, 91, something like that. And when I came onto it, I was just so attached to that book because if you guys didn't read the book, it's fine. The topic is basically the story is that this bird, all the other birds were doing the same thing that everybody else told them to do. They would just go, they would have to eat fish, find fish as a seagull. They're seagulls. Jonathan Livingston Seagull was a seagull. And then all the people in his barangay, right? In his municipality, they all did the same thing. They had to hunt and eat fish. Well, Jonathan was very weird. That's what people said. He's a weirdo. His parents said he's very different. And he was an outcast. Just like people that might think like how I thought in America. And thousands of other people like me, right? They said we're weirdo. We didn't follow the teachings we were supposed to follow. And my friends that were Christian would always be scolding me. And then my parents never understood me, and I was the outcast of my family. So that's why I love Jonathan Livingston Seagull, because it was me. We had the different story, but the same story. So Jonathan Livingston Seagull didn't want to hunt and fish. He wanted to fly. And he wanted to fly every day, and he wanted to find out how to fly even faster, because he thought as a bird to reach even a higher and being the best hunters or the best everything, the best seagulls could be, they would have to fly so fast. They could do maneuvers in the sky, flips, and all kinds of stuff. And his parents and all the people in the village said, don't waste your time with that. You're just supposed to hunt and fish. Why can't you be like everybody else? Well, Jonathan Livingston Seagull tried to do that. He tried to be like everybody else. He became depressed. He couldn't be like that. So he left and just went and flying. And he discovered the best ways to fly. Well, when he introduced it to people and shared it with the people that so they could benefit from it, so they could fly even better and be the best hunters, could just dip into the ocean so deep to get these fish, and then fly and do maneuvers in the wind when they couldn't hunt because it's too windy. They'd be able to do it in all kinds. He found all maneuvers for every condition. He spent years like this. Well, they didn't want to listen to him. He showed them and they didn't want to listen to him. So he was very depressed because he wanted to help his local villagers. So then Jonathan Livingston Seagull kept doing it, and he was sad. He almost gave it up. He almost gave up. But then one day he's flying and he saw another bird, and the bird was like kind of like Jesus, was lit up, surrounded by light, and he was shining, and he was just beautiful, unlike any other bird. And he was like a almost like transparent, and he was so powerful without doing anything, and he just gliding and flying like Jonathan. Even Jonathan Livingston Seagull, so good. This bird was just at a different level. And then he told Jonathan Livingston Seagull, "You can be like the other birds, but you'll never reach your higher capacity if you just, so you can quit if you want to." But there's more details in the story, but it's just phenomenal. And then Jonathan Livingston Seagull didn't quit, and then he became like that other bird. And then he had followers that want to learn naturally. He didn't have to do anything or have to prove himself. They would just naturally find him because they were attracted to that. And he had this power about him because he knew the divinity within him. He didn't need to brag. He didn't need to prove himself. He knew what he was. Like, I am the great I am. He knew he's part of that. He found that. He knew he's part. So if he's part, he cannot be separate. He found that. And then he did it, and he got his followers. So that's why I love that story, because for me, when I read it, I was broken. I had a broken mind. My life was broken. Even I was in college at that time, before I was a nurse, I was broken and I was lost. And when I found it, I found hope from that book. And then now, years later, I still refer to that book because I love it, because I know what it stood for. We're the people like Jonathan Livingston Seagull. We're broken, and then we're climbing out of our brokenness, and then we're healing ourselves. And then through that story, I saw myself later. When I read it, I didn't know, but I connected with it. So anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I love that story. If you haven't read Jonathan Livingston Seagull, you can listen to it on YouTube for free. But otherwise, it's probably better to read it, because you could. And I'm not an avid reader, but that book made me an avid reader. I couldn't put it down. So, Therese, you're right, 100%. Therese, I'm really so glad that Sir George, we have common denominator. We are on the same page. Absolutely, Therese. I'm very grateful that you're here. I feel that too. We have something to learn from each other. So I'm also thankful too that you're here. Jean, Paul, I give my finances family money every month. 2 of her grown daughters are going to college, and her mother is a widow, 83 years of age. I suppose if I quit giving support, I find myself less welcome. Wow, that's sad. That's very kind, Jean. I give my finances family money every month. 2 of her grown daughters are going to college, and her mother is a widow, 83 years of age. I suppose if I quit giving support, I find myself less welcome. Well, Jean, that's how you know if people really love you and if you're there for the right reason, because there's people like you that have a kind heart and a giving heart, that you're just thinking once you care about someone, you want to help them. And there's many Americans like that. It's in our culture, right? And there's many people in the world like that, right? But a lot of Americans I notice who just have a kind heart like that. But the way you find out if a Filipino loves you, like not just love, but there's something deeper. There's something they want you in their life, like no matter what. Like if you got sick and you, like for me, I got sick, right? And then I was incapacitated for a couple months. And my wife cleaned my butt, took care of me. Her family made sure, when I got sick here with something else, when that disease came around in the 2021, whatever, and I was hospitalized and I was close to dying, double pneumonia. It was my family here in San Carlos that took care of me. And the other thing was, for me, I just want to tell you, Jean, in a different way. There's nothing wrong with giving money if you don't expect anything back. And there's nothing wrong with giving money that if you're giving the money, the people, they appreciate you as a person. Now, Filipinos don't always show appreciation, and we know that. It's in the culture. But deeply, if they don't appreciate you, like in how we know that, Gene, is if you feel like if you stopped, they won't want you anymore, and they'd have no use for you, and they throw you away like basara, like trash. If you feel that, that's one thing. But if they'd really do that, and you kind of know that, I would listen to that. But if they really want you around, no matter what, because I'm going to tell you something about the woman I met. Because before I met my wife, I met a woman that was different, and it wasn't a good fit, and it wasn't a right fit, and I lost a lot, and it wasn't her fault. It was my fault because it was my mindset at that time. But she didn't love me, even though the words came out. She loved me. She didn't love me. Later, I knew that, right? But I really knew that when it was going on, and that's why I left. But when I met Caroline in 2011, it was different because I didn't have anything at that time. When I came to the Philippines, I had a lot of money. When I met Caroline, I didn't have anything. And she got to know me. I got to know her. Then we ended up living together. We saw each other's behaviors, and she always, from the beginning, she never asked me for money. Her family never asked me for money. It was really different. I wasn't used to it. And I told her at the beginning, I am not the kind of foreigner. I looked her in the face and I said, Caroline, I know you really care about me and I really care about you. I want you to know, now that we're at this point, you know this about me, but I really want to say it in my words. I am not the kind of foreigner that has money in his pockets. So if you want someone like that, I understand, because the Philippines is different here and your situation might be different. Then don't be with me because you deserve someone else. I told her like that. And she just laughed and said, no, I want to be with you. Just no problem. I know you don't have anything. I've known that since I met you. I know you lost everything. And then she said, it's okay. We're just going to be together, and we're going to crawl out of where we are together. The word she said is, we'll get through the struggle together. Right, Caroline? And we did. And then we rose together. And so there's foreigners that say, Gene, there's foreigners that say to me, oh, well, you want to be in your position now because you have a lot of money. So you don't understand what a Filipino feels like. They have no idea what I've experienced in my life. But I have no reason to have to prove myself, so I don't care. But I just want to tell you, just so you know, I fell so hard that I lived in a place called Mambaling in Cebu City, and it's in Alaska area there. And I lived as a squatter. I lived with the squatters, and I lived in a little rock place that had rats, and had to take turns pooping with the community there. Had to take turns, had a shower there. And how long did we live there for, Mom?
Oh, like a month, 1 month.
No, we lived there longer than that.
No, one or 2 months.
She's saying like 2 months.
We moved to a different.
Yeah, we lived there 2 months, and I learned how to be human there. I learned to be humble. I learned to have nothing. And I'm so grateful for the lessons. And what I do when I got better from being sick is I play basketball with the community there. And there'd be so many people because it's a very big city. And at that time, even in Cebu City, the main Cebu City. And I played basketball with like 30 people. And they weren't used to, and there's a lot of people doing drugs there. There's good people doing bad things, everything. You see everything, but people that were all living as squatters. And we played basketball together, and they protected me. They protected me because they knew that I was real because of what my situation, and that I never gave up. I turned Filipino. My heart turned Filipino. And so I had to use my resources. I had to learn from my wife. I was blind and had to learn a new way and lose myself and lose my beliefs. And I just wanted to survive. And with my wife. And then we pulled ourselves out, and then many years of manifesting and doing things through God's law abundant. We did what people would say is impossible. We did the impossible. Because if I would share my deeper story and tell the facts of my deeper story of what happened and how everything happened in the Philippines, people would think I was lying. But I have nothing to prove. So I just share things when I want to because it's fun, and maybe it'll help you, Gene. In some way, you'll just think deeper about your own situation, and you'll know if it's good, if it's the right situation or not. You'll look deeply inward at yourself, and then I don't know anything about you, Gene. You might already be doing that, even like whatever. There's people that have been doing it so long, right? For me, I'm just a baby, but maybe just something I say will, just from my experiences, you'll see yourself, your experience, because we're the same, Gene. We're no better, no higher or lower. So I just share in stories. That's what God's gifted me with out of nowhere, is to be able to share stories and my family, things about my family, and then share what I've been through. That's all. Then I survived. Yeah. I'm building a house. This is from Jean Paul again. I'm building a house really for my daughter, 4 years old. When the house is finished, I'll see if I still have a home. Wow, Jean, I understand you. God bless you, Jean. I understand you because you're thinking of your daughter. So is that daughter, did you guys have that? Your daughter, I don't know her name, but did you have her with your current fiance? Did you have, or is that her daughter and you kind of adopted her in your own way there? Because I have one too, Chloe, that I've known since 3, and she's 16 now. She's my daughter. But people say she doesn't look mixed, but I don't even answer those questions. She doesn't look mixed. Don't answer because she's my daughter, not by blood. I made a video about that one. God bless you, my brother. I just hope whatever happens for you, Gene, that it's just you will be happy, and you will be in a place where you know you're in the right situation, and you know that what you're doing, other people will benefit by it. And maybe that's now. It could be from what you're doing now, but like you said, you'll find out, right? As we turn inward, we attract things and we find out the truth. It's just like drinking a beer. The foam always floats to the top. You can't stop it. The truth always floats to the top. We find out. So I wish you peace, brother, whatever comes from it. I just wish you peace and all the blessings. Thank you for sharing that, Gene. I'm going to read more. I know you're going to share more, and I'll read it. Just share the link. Really? I can share the link here? Okay, I will. I hope you guys will look at this. I made this myself, and it might look simple to you, but it's took a lot of work. And if you look at that, to me, when I look at it, it's just beautiful. Like everything's in the right place. And it's just the start of something. It's the start of something, and it's free. Like, and I just put some abundance, simple abundance. They're not like deep ones, just simple, just a start. And it looks beautiful to me because it has a YouTube channel, has everything there. I was able to put the links there and everything. But yeah. Okay, let me go here now. Thank you, Gene, for telling me that. I didn't realize to share the link. I'm kind of just simple person. Yes, I knew him. The unfinished book, that in the basement. Yeah. Did you read that book, Therese? Did you read it? I hope you will read it if you haven't. James, hey, George, I'm going to sign off now. Talk to you. Okay, James, if I missed you, I'm sorry. But if you watch this later, bye, James. I can't wait to have coffee with you and sit and share, get to know each other. James lives right by me, you guys. And I met him not too long ago at a wedding for one of the relatives of Caroline. And then his wife is not, I think she's not a relative, but she's a friend of the family of the bride, or is she a relative? Yeah. I'll ask. Yeah, friends, I think. Well, I'll ask James. Gene, I guess time will tell, and you live and learn. For sure, we learned something from this. Yeah, thank you, Gene, so much for sharing. You're brave to share that here, because it's brave, man, to share your situation. You're in the right place. We're building a community where you just can share stuff, and people will just be helpful and listen. I'm in sickness and in health, for richer or poor, for better or for worse. Right on, Therese. In sickness and health, for richer or poor, for better. That's it. That's the promise we make, right? Yeah, Therese. Yes, my daughter is mine. Jean Paul. Okay, he answered my question. Yes, my daughter is mine, biologically with current fiance. I get it, brother. I get it, man. I feel you, Gene. I feel you. I understand why you're doing that. Just don't listen to what other people say, Gene. Not even me. Just listen to your heart, brother. And search yourself, and you'll know the truth. As far as I'm concerned, just your actions, you're a good man. You're a good man. Okay, Gene, thanks. The link works. Thank you for checking it, brother. I'm glad I got to share that.
Rain, come here now, guys. Rain, you have school tomorrow. Come on. Get your milk. Where's your milk?
Thank you, Gene.
Oh, it's here. You don't know. Come on. Put down the phone. You have to pray, man. You believe it to sleep.
Oh, my daughter's going to pray. She's going to pray before she goes to sleep. Oh, let's see what she's doing. Wait, let's see what she's doing. What you're doing, baby? You don't have to pray in front of other people. I just want to see what you're doing.
Yeah, she said.
She already said her prayers?
Yeah, she said, I love you. Papa Jesus.
I need to poop.
You need to what? Poo-poo?
Yeah.
Oh, you had to poop?
Yeah.
Okay, your prayer must have been successful. Okay.
Come on, let's go.
Okay, she's gonna poop. Bye, baby. Where are you going? Oh, you're going there with mommy, yeah?
Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
So funny.
What a cute little baby. She's 5 years old. She's my youngest, our youngest. You know, just so you guys know, if you don't know, Baby Rain's 5 years old. Then the next one up the ladder, I'm going from youngest to oldest, is David. He's 9 years old. And then Zanaea's 13 years old. She just turned teenager in March. And then Chloe is 16 years old, and she turned 16 in April. So Baby Rain is December, and David's in October. So yeah, that's the kids. Yeah, Therese, absolutely. Absolutely. Take care and enjoy, and take care. I'll see you next time. It's almost 3 hours, you guys. So when Baby Rain's done, when Baby Rain's done pooping, we'll end this live, and I hope it was enjoyable for you guys. At the beginning, I went over 5-year burial lease in the Philippines and what I learned basically from it. And there's a foreigner here that had a video today. He has a pretty good channel. He's growing pretty fast. Expat, Philippines view for an expat or something, dreams. He's a big channel. Well, anyway, I watched it. He talked about it in his video a little bit about burials. And so then I looked at, I already knew the things he's telling and then learned something new about what he was telling. He's been here like 9 years. I learned something new from what he's telling, and then I researched more. And then my wife, we were talking about what we'd seen. And so that's what I shared at the beginning of this video. Thanks for sharing your live stream. Enjoyed it. Good night. Thank you, Jean Paul. I hope to see you next week on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Thank you so much, Jean. I really appreciate it. I appreciate you being here. I enjoyed your input tonight. Therese is always helping and doing good things and wonderful comments, making me think and do for my material too. So thank you so much, Therese. Everybody that's come in here. Thank you, James K. And at the beginning later, there's other people. Joey, I want to thank you for coming in. And Leanne, Joey's adobo and apple pie. So those are all the people that look like took part that have spoken. Okay. Thank you guys. And I'll see you on the next one. I think Baby Rain's done too. So I'm going to end the stream. And this was a wonderful stream. Thank you. And I wish you all the dreams and all the abundance and all of God's all of your dreams from God, that you'll be blessed. All the dreams that you dream, all the abundance in whatever it is, good health, finances, relationships, possessions, whatever. God bless you guys. We'll say bye for now.